Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I'm stood outside of my renovation in Hart Hill in Stoke-on-Trent. I'm doing this 4-bedroom HMO and it started off as a 2-bedroom terraced. I did a video a few weeks ago when the renovation started before I'd actually done the rip out, and now after 5 weeks this is where we're up to. First fix is nearly finished and we've got the plasterers coming in at the back end of the week. So I just want to show you how we're coming along, maybe some of the problems I've had as the renovation has been commencing and how I've come over those problems and come up with solutions. So let's go inside. It's absolutely freezing here in Stoke-on-Trent at the minute, as I'm sure it is in the rest of the UK. So I'm getting inside. Okay, so this is bedroom 1 downstairs. This is the smallest one and actually worried me slightly because we're just on the cusp of it being big enough. We've made sure the ensuite is a suitable size so that we have got enough floor space in here, and luckily we've got this bay window just here filled with my little puppy, as I'm sure you've all seen him before. If not, little Bryson cuddled up on a ball, bless him. 7-month-old puppy. But luckily we've got the space in this bay window, which means we've got just enough. But this is a small room, so you've got to make sure when you're doing these HMOs that you meet the regulations on the amenity standards of your local area, and this one is just over. So we've managed to make sure the ensuite is just on the cusp and make the most use of this room. As you can see, we dropped the ceiling in this room. Now the reason I dropped the ceiling in this room was to run cable and run pipe work, waste. We've got extractor fans, so it just makes it a hell of a lot easier. Bottom floor, primarily you're probably going to drop your ceilings with en-suites being up there, a lot of cables being run with the rewire. Upstairs, you might get away with it, which I'll show you what I've done upstairs in a minute. So yeah, next things to do, I've got to finish off the boarding before the plasterers come in. Upstairs is pretty much done. I've put this lath on the walls, which covers up and conceals where the chimney breasts have been taken out. So I've got a really uneven wall on all the chimney breast, well, old chimney breast walls. So where I've taken them out, I've decided to lath them out, which means now we've got an even surface. Also, you'll be the electrician's best friend if you lap out these walls or use metal stud, because it means they can run the cable just behind like this. It's really unfortunate in this room that we've had to keep the meter in there. If we wanted to move the meter, it would have cost thousands and wouldn't have been worth it. So we're going to make sure it's secure. We're going to box this up with a lock, but it does mean that we've had to have this fuse box in here with armoured cable. So another job that I've got to do before I get the plasterers in is I've got to put a piece of timber along here and box in this armoured cable. So I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on and come up with a way of concealing this as neatly as possible. But where's a will, there's a way, and I will get it done. As you can see, the electrician's been busy at work. He's chased out the walls that he's had to where I've not laughed out, and now we've got sockets in, so it's ready for plasterers to come in, bond over the top, and get this house looking like a home again. Speaking about the spark, he's a messy bugger. This is the area he's been using for all of his cable, but it is important to organise your spaces. So I said to him, you can use that space for all your cable, and then I've got different locations for different trades, just like this one behind me. So here is where I'm keeping my plumbing materials. So the plumbers, pipe work, copper and plastic fittings are just there. And then I'm doing a lot of the timber work, so I keep timber offcuts, etc. just here. And it's a nice space. The kitchen's nice and large. It's a central room that everyone's got access to, so it's a nice place to put materials. Just over here, I've got my bins, trying to keep this nice and organised. So I've got one for my rubble, one for my general waste, and I've got all my fixings, expanding foam, etc. just here. Yeah, makes it nice and easy, accessible to everyone. Let's go through to, in fact, before I go, what I will do is show you, so this doesn't look like much of a kitchen at the minute, but I will show you just quickly. I'm going to pop up the kitchen design just here. So this is going to be that wall. This is going to be the breakfast bar as shown here. And this is going to be where the sink is shown here. We're also, over the weekend, going to get this window taken out, and this is where the door to the rear is going to be put in. So half it is going to be bricked up, and then we're going to have a nice big gap for the door. Now, one of the problems actually walking away that we've had was getting the drains out. So as you can see here, unfortunately, it is a concrete floor. So we had to dig up and channel out the drains for all of the en-suites outside, which was a bit of a nightmare. The drop actually wasn't quite enough in one of the front bedrooms. So we had to go back and amend it, and it took about a day to fix. So when you're digging your drains, just make sure you've got enough drop. We sorted it within a day, but it's a day spent that we didn't need to be focusing on this issue. Another issue, my plans came back for my kitchen a little bit later than expected because I was negotiating the price with the executive working for Howdens, which is where I got my kitchen from, which meant I got my designs back a little bit later than expected. So although I knew the measurements for the majority of units, I actually come up short with the plumbing work. So I've got to move this over to the left just slightly, which again, isn't too much of an issue, but going forward, I'm going to make sure that I get my designs and plans done straight away the first day I come into the project. This is going to be the new entrance to bedroom 2 downstairs at the back of the house. So it's going to be really nice. This is going to be a utility space. So I've got my electricians put in some sockets just down here because the dryer is going to go here. And the washing machine is just going to go over here with the boiler overhead. So it's going to be a nice utility space. I'm not going to put a door on here. It's just going to be open. And then a door for this bedroom will be put here. So let's walk through to this bedroom. Another thing that I had to sort out was the stop tap. So the original stop tap was just here, which meant that I had to channel through into where the boiler is because we can't have a stop tap for the mains water in someone's bedroom, so we've had to get that moved. When you originally saw the property as well, on my first video walking in, you'll remember there was a wall just here, and we've got a big steel put in just here, and that's meant that we can take the wall down and open up this bedroom. I'm gonna have to fireboard over the steels. That's in line with building controls regulations, and the bed for this room is gonna go here. So it's going to be a nice room. It is quite small, but you walk through and it's got a really nice enclosed space, which makes the room a lot more desirable. So in here, we're going to have a kitchenette. So I'll show you the plans for that here. And then this is going to be the ensuite. Again, another thing to think about when you've got concrete floors, this one's tiled, is the drains. So the waste. This is an old bathroom, and the drain and the original toilet was just here. So we've had to move the waste into the ensuite just over here, which again was a little bit of a nightmare. And I tried to do this one myself. I did have to get someone else in because I just thought I don't want to mess around with it because it was a clay pipe, and I actually went through the clay pipe and destroyed it. Blew it to bits. So I was just a little bit worried that I didn't want to do too much damage. So with the timings, it was easy enough just for me to get a builder on and focus on doing some more of the woodwork. And you know, it cost me about £100 to sort that out. So not a massive one. And yeah, just over here, I've cut in a loft hatch for access to this little bit of an extension at the back of the house. So the electrician, plumber, etc. has got access for the future. I'll quickly show you outside what I've been using the space for, and it's basically my own little personal skip. It's worked out really well that we've got this nice long kind of garden, typical of a terrace house, which means that I've been using it to much build up. That door is so annoying. So annoying. So yeah, so I've been leaving all my rubbish here. So I've been organising my waste into different piles. So I've got a rubble pile, I've got general waste, I've got my wood, I've got my plasterboard just here. This door is going to get bricked up on the weekend because this is a bedroom and I don't want a rear exit in a bedroom, as well as half of this window. So half the window that's on the ensuite is going to get bricked up as well. Okay, so just here, we've dropped the ceilings on the staircase. It's just made it easier to board over, and I didn't want to mess around overboarding on top of that ceiling. So dropped the ceilings, made it a bit easier for myself. And now, if you can remember, we had 4 big chimney breasts, well 2 chimney breasts, but upstairs and downstairs, the chimney walls. So we're putting this big steel up here, just to take it down and maximise the room that we have inside these rooms. So in this one, we've got a kitchenette going here. I'll show you the plans now. So as you can see, we've got waste for the sink, we've got the sink feed just there, we've got an array of sockets above for the hob, microwaves, etc. So they're going to be really nice en suites. these rooms. Boarding the ceiling was an absolute nightmare. It's the first time that I've boarded ceiling. So if you have a look up, it's a two-man job. Luckily I had a labourer that came and helped me out, and we had plasterboard lifts, so that was a really good tool to use. But if I didn't have that, it would have been an absolute disaster. I don't think I'll be doing it again. With this renovation, I've tried to do as much work as I can because I've got the time to, but I'm picking and choosing what I think in the future I should be best doing myself and what I should be best leaving to others. Plasterboarding and ceilings is definitely one that I'd never want to do ever again. And then even worse than plasterboarding over joists, plasterboarding over already boarded ceilings, because you've got to find the floor joist. So this one was even worse, but we've pretty much got it done. So this room, again, really nice room, because we've got a little bit of a bigger space here for the kitchenette. It means that we can have a kind of breakfast bar on the end here. It is going to be tight, but it's doable. I put a TV on the wall just here, and obviously we've got the en-suites just here. So up to yet, first fix plumbing's material, all of the rip out, all of the structural work, so taking out the chimney breast, taking out that wall downstairs and doing the drains, and then all of the carpentry work for first fix and the boarding done as of yet. I'm about where I thought I'd be. I have done really well, but I've done a lot of work myself. We're on week 5 now, still on schedule to do this project and renovation within the estimated 13 weeks that I've given myself. So got to keep pushing on, and once the plasterers come in next week, I think the house is really going to start coming together, and then I can start putting the kitchens and kitchenettes in. And I can't wait to do that, because Howdens have got a really good deal on, which meant that I had to secure the kitchens, and they're now in my conservatory at my house. So the girlfriend's going mad and the dog is having to squeeze past kitchens to get outside, so I need to get them in ASAP. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna do another update in a few days. I'm gonna start being a little bit more active on social media and doing a lot more personal and kind of in detail videos of how I invest in these properties and turn them into such high cash flowing assets. For more videos like this, don't forget to give me a follow.